we'll just get a feeling of tree or pine tree tops. The color, let's take some yellow and a little touch of green. Let's just kind of, and I mix with the brush, guys. I don't use a knife. And we're going to take that color. No, still no medium, no terp, no nothing. We're right up here, and I'm using the side of the brush. You notice how I just hit it and pull it out, hit it, pull it out. Maybe the side there. Can you see that happening? You see it? Very dry. Very dry. Don't just put a few little branches coming out, otherwise it's going to look like some arms sticking out there. But the more you hit it, the softer it will be. Can you see that area right in there? Now I'm going to come over to the right. Let's come on really in close. So I want the folks to see how this stroke happens. Now here's the brush, and it's a fan brush. I hope I told you. Oh, by the way, this is a bristle fan brush. Very short hair. Now watch how. I'm going to hit the side straight up to get the top. The side coming out. Can you see that happening? You see it? Uh-huh. And down and down and down and down and down. It keeps coming down even though it disappears into nothing. Just let it go into nothing. As we come across, we have a lighter tree right next to it. Remember? That was sort of a orangey, yellow, greenish type. And that's the same thing. Oh boy, that's coming out a little bit brighter. Let's neutralize that. Neutralize it by putting some, whoa, we don't want that. That'd be a pretty color if we had a mountain back there. I was going to put a little white with it, but we don't want it that bright. Not that bright, but that bright's not bad. Maybe that tree, maybe that tree comes out just a little and slowly loses itself down, loses itself. Yes. So you have some bright light hitting in there. Here, just maybe some of the same color taken off the brush because I used my towel to wipe. Yeah. And down it comes. Make sure it fades into nothing. I want it to look like it fades away. That's a nice golden color up there. I like that color. Now as we come across, this is our nice big main tree in here. Let's see, let's take a little yellow and green. And we're going to hit that in here. Let's put a little orange with that. Maybe a little pink with that. Pink! Whew! Yes. Ooh, is that too bright? I think so. Well, you experiment. You just get your colors and throw it up there. Boy, is that gaudy. Well, we're working in oil paint, guys. You know, we can change. We can do whatever we want. There, I'm going over it with some green and sienna. And we'll hit that. Let's get some limbs coming out. And as it comes down to the bottom, it'll disappear into nothing. Yes. Now, how about a color that I love a lot? Mauve. I'm going to reach down here and pick up some mauve and a touch of white. And we're going to put some of that in here. Just a touch of white. Too much white and it'll pop out too much. Yes. And just a hint of it in there. All right. Now over in this area, this is sort of a mysterious area. A little yellow, a little green. And we want just sort of a hint that there's something going on. And also, this is yellow with a little hint of green. And it's also killing some of that green so it's not so green. Oh, there's some mauve coming out of the brush. Well, let's keep it in there. I like that. It's sort of running over the top of that green we first put in there. Cool. Now this area, we're going to pick an area right about in here where we're going to have a little more bright coming through. Let's take a little orange and yellow, still working dry. And we're going to take that and just tap it ever so lightly in there. where the light is just dancing and picking up, yeah, some of those limbs. Now, when you first put it on, it's going to be pretty bright. So wipe your towel, wipe your brush on your towel, and hit. Now, the more you hit, the more that's going to become muted and not so bright. But if you don't put it on bright to begin with, when you hit it, there'll be nothing there. Okay, let's check it out, see how we got here. We've got trees. We might find a little, I'm looking at the painting, making sure I don't leave stuff out. Woohoo! Watch, don't go bright. A little more in there. See, it's the subtle colors that you want. It's the subtlety that makes all this happen. That's working. Now down below, where we're going to start to have come into the area where wildflowers are, this is a little yellow and white. Now don't make this area straight, but you see how it curves up. Now I'm wiping the brush again. Wipe, 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 wipe. And I'm going to take, see when I want that to mush into the gray, I'll wipe most of the paint back off. So you can see how I started out bright and how it's going more gray, because I'm allowing the gray from underneath to work for us. Here I'm taking the yellow and pulling it to the right, allowing the gray. Gray will add richness to your painting. Too much color, it'll get so gaudy that you won't be able to look at it. Now I'm wiping the brush again. Here's that towel, wiping again. This horizon, this line right here, I want it softer. Notice how I'm going to run across it and soften it in. All right, now I'm going to run this across. Now here I can stop it because here I have leaves coming in. Now I'm reaching down for some green and sienna. Green and sienna. Still no medium, guys. It's very dry. Working it in. Because medium will make it spread too fast. Can even hit it up a little bit like this, brush up. All right. I know that's making a lot of noise, but that's what we want. Now when I come down and picking up some more green and sienna. That's all I'm doing. I use a disposable palette, by the way, so when I get finished with it at the day's end, I can just throw it away. Here I'm going a little bit darker right in here. Coming across. Now remember that it's darker on the left-hand side. And as we come across, it's going to get lighter. I'm going to add a little yellow and sap green in here. So see how it's very forgiving when you work dry. And also you get a lot of this little stuff happening, little things happening. Whereas if you were working wet, it would all just mush together. This adds a little texture to it. Now, coming over here to the right-hand side, I'm going to getting a clean towel, and I'm going to, see, I couldn't do that if I had wet paint on you. They would just take it all off. And here, I'm letting the gray come up into this area. Really let it get in there, because I want it to fade. So later on, we'll be pulling some gray grass over this area too. Let your eye down into the gray. I see a little more yellow and green, maybe a touch of orange way over here. I see something peeking out over here. And then let's just let it peter out right behind where we're going to have all those leaves. Let's back up, because right now we're right on top of everything. And when you work, you have to stand back and look at everything, see how it looks. I think we're looking pretty good. Not too shabby. We'll probably put a little more detail back in there, but we want to get the rest of it started. So, well, you know what I think I will do is go back in here with a little touch of white, a little bit of blue, not much blue, still working dry. Right in here. Yeah, let's get a little light hitting right in there. Now can you see by working dry how you get all this little stuff all this texture. Notice how it's blending from light into the dark. Yet it's leaving a little texture. You don't want to take a brush and smooth it out. Because we have wildflowers we're going to be putting in there in a little while. And with that texture behind the wildflowers, those flowers will sit right back in there. But I see a little blue back in there. I might have it in the painting. Maybe I don't. Who cares? Let's put a little in here. Can you see that little touch of blue? Notice how I'm dragging side to side, side to side. Listen to that little voice inside of you that says, put some color in there. What color should I put in there? The little voice says. And you say, put in some blue. Okay, listen to it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Put a little over here, a little over there. Because we have this sort of yellowy, orange, and blue complements that. Maybe I'll drag, yes, drag a little up in there. So we see through the blue. It's like a veil of blue coming up. I know, spooky stuff. Can you see that? This is like glazing, only we're glazing with a dry brush. Can you see the foggy effect we're getting? Yeah, good stuff. Well, now we have our trees in on the right-hand side, and we have a little bit of a landscape. It's just sitting there waiting for the flowers to go in. But before that, I went ahead and did a little bit on here off camera just to get started here, because I don't want to do run out of time and then you guys go, well, that was a very nice tape, but there's no roses. So I went ahead and painted some leaves in, and I laid some leaves in over here, and I'm going to explain to you what I did. And then down in through here, I'm going to go in and paint this in, and it's just repetitious. And so when I show you how I do this, it's exactly how that was done. So let me show you the palette here. We have a color. We're going to mix up some black and some white, and we're going to make a gray. Now this gray comes very close to being the same gray that's on the back of the canvas. This will allow us to fade our leaves into the background. Okay, and as I go around picking up color, I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Most of the color I'm going to be using for the leaves are going to